Back in May, I got a brand new ragdoll kitten called Luke, and I thought today we'd create him in The Sims 4. You don't look too happy about that, do you, son? Here we have a picture of him to the left, and I'm gonna try and use this as a bit of a reference. I have some other photos as well. And we are gonna make you in The Sims, aren't we, Poopy? Yes. Yes, we are. And we need to find a ragdoll. Ragdoll. And I'm gonna go for a basic white ragdoll to begin with, because this is actually very similar to what Luke looks like. Luke is still only a kitten. He is only 4 months old. But I think I might design him as an adult, but then look back at what he looks like as a kitten sim. Because if I'm designing an adult cat, I get a lot more creative freedom. Lukey, you are not that fluffy, are you, son? But you're going to be. He's in a very sleepy mood right now. But basically, as you can see, he's not as furry as the cat on the screen. Okay, make that picture a little smaller so we can see what we're doing. I think I'm going to start with the eyes, and the eyes are pretty much correct. I wouldn't say they're that big. And the blue is also pretty spot on. FYI, I'm not the best at cast. I'm a gameplay simmer, so this might not look fully accurate. I feel like his eyes are just like a little bit... Oh, God, not that. How do I move? Can you tell I don't play cast? This cat's so fluffy. Okay, moving on to the ears. Luke does have really big ears, but again, it could just be because he's a kitten. So do I want to change the ears too much? So those are the default ones, and then these are like a little bit bigger. I don't know if I want to make them too big, so I might go for these size. I feel like this is a little bit more accurate to what he's got. Okay, nose. He definitely has quite a dark nose. And as you can see in the picture, he has got quite like a straight nose. So maybe something almost like that, but just not as wide. Kind of like that. Okay, whiskers. Luke has very long whiskers. Is there any chance I can get like longer? I think these are like the longest ones we've got. And his whiskers are also white, so this is like the perfect swatch. I just wish there was a way to make them even bigger, because as you can see in the picture, his whiskers are so long. Okay, I think I'm going to change the head shape, because Luke has got a little bit more of a rounder head than this. So I think something maybe a bit more like this would be better. And then I'm going to change the size of the eyes as well, because I feel like his eyes aren't that big. They're beautiful, but they're a little bit smaller. But again, it could just be because he's a kitten. Okay, this is looking cute so far. Now for paint mode. As you can see, Luke has got a lot of color in his face. So we need to find a light gray almost to kind of put over his face. Okay, spray a little bit around his nose. And then it also goes like under his eyes as well. Around his eyes. And then around his nose too. Ooh, too far. And then I'm just going to bring the strength down a little bit, because he does have a little bit of color like in his cheeks as well, but I don't want that to be like as prominent. Almost like this. And then so it's not a straight up circle, just clear a little bit around his eyes so it's got a little bit more of that color in a more of a sporadic shape. I feel like under his eyes is like a little bit darker, so I might just touch up a little bit under the eyes, and then maybe just make it like a little bit darker. Okay, I feel like that's looking pretty close to his actual face. So I've pulled up another picture to try and get like a better idea of the color around his face, and I feel like it's pretty close. I do think his nose needs to be a little bit darker, and then a little bit darker around the mouth here. Now that I've got a different angle, I do feel like his head around here is a little bit more flat, so I think I will just reduce that just like a little bit. Yeah, and now his ears look a lot more in a similar shape. Okay, so I think I am gonna bring his body shape in just a little bit, just to kind of try and closely match what he is right now. I know he's a kitten, but I feel like that looks a little closer. So as you can see, looking at this photo of him, he is pretty white in most places, especially around the chest. And then it starts to get darker down here to his legs, but it stops at his paws, and his paws are white. So I need to try and get like down there without it being too big. Let's make that brush size a little bit smaller. Okay, here we go. And then just make those paws the color that they are in the picture. Poopy, where have you gone? I've lost my cat. This whole challenge is supposed to be creating my cat, and I've lost him. Looky! Oh, there you are, son. Look, treaties. Baby, you deserve treats. You being my model for the day. Here we go. So as we can see, he's got like the gray in his arms, and then it goes like white here by the toes. He wants treats. cats. Yeah, I know, these are your favorite, aren't they? Ugh, now I've got cat saliva on my hands. Okay, I think I am just gonna make the arms a little bit more grey. Almost want to make them like a bit darker. So let's go darker on that paint. I don't know why it's almost like a bit green, but that's fine. And make those dark. Oh, he's found the treats. He's found the treats. Lukey, I need to have a look at your back legs. So as you can see, his back legs are a lot more white. So it seems to only really be his front legs that have got that grey in the arms. And then his back legs are definitely a lot more white. So if we go over there, paint over those back legs. I cannot wait for Luke to get this fluffy. I'm so excited. You're gonna be a giant floof, aren't you, son? Can you get a larger tail? I feel like Luke's tail is a bit longer than this. He's got a very long tail. You can kind of see his tail in this picture. As you can see, it is also pretty grey. And again, just make that brush size a bit bigger and just kind of like fill the whole thing grey, because the whole tail is pretty much grey. So for y'all watching, I am curious. Do you have any pets? Do you have any cats? What is your favorite breed of cats? I've always loved ragdolls, and I've always said if I was to ever get a cat, I would get a ragdoll. I thought that they were gonna be lazy and well behaved. He's a little devil. I need this to almost blend in a little bit better. So maybe I would grab the white and just, I don't want it to be as aggressive. Put the transparency to the lowest and then just kind of like go over it ever so slightly, just so it makes it a little bit more blended in. He will also gain a lot of colour over the years as well. He is only 4 months, so like when he reaches like 1 year, 2 year, he will continue to get super colourful. Good boy. Okay, now we need to paint the back of his ears. As you can see, he's got super great ears. They're so colourful. It's one of my favourite things about you, Poopy. So I don't really have any pictures of like the back of his ears, but as you can see, just from here, they have got that grey tint to them. So I think if we just colour swatch what's on his tail and bring it up here to the ears, and then bring it around the front as well, and then that is pretty like solid. So I think if we just bring the transparency back down and then just kind of go around it, so it's not as aggressive. There we go. And then it's like blending in a little bit more, you know. He does also have a bit of colour on his mouth. I missed that. So I think I will just kind of do a little dot like that, and then that kind of like adds the color that he's got there on his chin, and then in just a slightly lower transparency, just kind of go around his mouth there as well, capturing that color that he does have in his face. Okay, Lukey, what do you think? Should we see what he looks like as the kitten in The Sims? Oh, it's so cute. That's like kind of similar to what he looked like. This was him as a baby kitten, so it's like kind of close. He's got a little bit too much color in his face here than he did when he was a baby, but it's close-ish. And there's him when he was a little bit bigger, so you can start to see the color starting to come through on his paws and his face and his tail and stuff, you know. And this is him now. He's grown so much in 4 months. Okay, going back to adult cat, let's pick the traits. So ragdolls are meant to be lazy cats. Luke is just a kitten, but he's not in his lazy era just yet. He's in his very much playful, chaotic era. Luke is fluffy. He's not super fluffy yet though, so do we give him that trait? I would say he's quite mischievous. He is quite mischievous. He likes knocking things off surfaces. He likes running around under the bed at 4 a.m. He likes to jump up on the counter when we're trying to make his food. So he is a little bit mischievous. I don't know why this is the animation for mischievous cat, but there you go. He's never pooped outside of his litter box. He's also very spoiled. For the fluffy trait, it says they'll hack up hairballs more often. He hasn't done that yet. Again, it could just be because he's really small. So I think for now, we'll pick spoiled because he is very spoiled. Yeah, this is absolutely him. Spoiled rotten, aren't you, son? Should we see what Luke looks like in little clothes? Oh my god, Luke, you're a taco! Luke hates wearing stuff. He actually does have a few costumes that some of my viewers sent him, and he hates them. He never puts them on. Whenever I try and put them on, he's ripping them off. Oh, Luke, you could be so cute. You could be a little dragon. Oh my god, he could be a bee. He would never let me put this on him. And the little onesie. Look, why can't you be a costume kitty? I could just imagine myself even trying to put that on him and he would not have it. He would not have it. Anything like this would be a big no. He doesn't like anything on his head. I've got this cute little flower hat for him and I've tried putting it on him in the past and it's straight off. Luke, you could be toast. Why can't you be toast? Oh, look, you could have a little top hat. Lukey, would you ever wear that? Would you? Would you let me put a hat on you? Okay, so I think that's the best I'm gonna get for making Luke in The Sims. It's probably not perfect. There's probably a million creators out there that can do a much better job than me. Feel free to make him in The Sims if you'd like and send me your creations. Like I said, I'm not the best at CAS. It's not my go-to gameplay when I play Sims, but I tried my best and I think it looks pretty close. Actually, now that I'm looking at it, I feel like his ears need to be a little darker. There we go. Okay, I need to stop. Okay, now I'm done. Now I'm done. I promise. I'm not touching anymore. I'm not touching anymore. You're perfect just the way you are, aren't you, son? Do you want one more treat? One more treat. Come on. There you go. There you go. How do you think we did? Did we do a good job at creating Luke? What do you think, Lukey? I am actually away on vacation right now, so I've been uploading videos to my YouTube channel, so you all still get some Jake content. But I will be back to live streaming next week at Monday at 1 PM BST. That is 8 AM ET, 5 AM PT. So do be sure to check out my Twitch channel at twitch.tv/JakeDavid. If you've been enjoying the YouTube videos and you'd like to see more, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to keep making some. And also be sure to give the video a big thumbs up. And maybe when Luke gets a little older, we can do this again. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your week, and I will catch you all in the next one. Bye!